Hello, I am Myas Fish. Today I will be reading my MLK fanfic because I wrote it during history class when we were learning about MLK. Yes, it was a standard essay writing lesson. However, I am retarded and autistic, and I decided to write an MLK fanfic instead. Okay, time to start. MLK would obliterate the Jews during the 1967 Battle of Tokyo. It was a decisive victory against the Great British Empire, led by Joseph Stalin and Hitler's daughter, Ivan Hitler. It is said that on the 5th of September, MLK would lead the march on Tokyo consisting of 900,000 big black clankers. He led the decisive march on the Rainbow Bridge, which sent the orcs back to the Third Realm. MLK would pull out his British Broadcasting Corporation and bust all over the Jews, resulting in a victory for the Second Russian Empire, the United States of Canada, and the Republic of North China. Unfortunately, during the battle, Rosa Parks would die from the Jews sticking their long noses up her, resulting in internal combustion. It is said that after the battle, MLK would give a motivational speech that usually happens after a significant emotional event. It goes, I have a dream that one day my gay trans brother will finally take a shower. One day, those dirty clankers will finally see the size, length, and girth of my BBC and will stay in the fourth dimension forever. Calm down. Anyways, I have walked to the moon and back with the power of my N-word, and one day those will see the moon with my massive forehead carved right onto it. Heil Austrian painter. I have a dream that one day Epstein would invite me to his island. I have a dream today. Applause. Changing law and legislation. Martin Luther King managed to achieve many changes in the system during his time in power as the CEO of sex. It is said that Martin Luther King and Obama had a rap battle during the famous September 41st, October 10th autistic restarts, 1867 at 6:07 p.m. MLK would dip his dip in gold and whip Obama across the face with it, securing his spot as Emperor of the Galactic Empire. However, just as MLK won the election, 100,000 Venator-class Star Destroyers would enter the atmosphere of Mars, where the election was taking place, and to rape the hell out of the process, causing MLK to return fire. MLK had to team up with his best friends, Donald J. Trump, Kamala Harris, Kim Jong-un, William Shakespeare, Gorlock the Destroyer, Buddha, Adolf Hitler, Frank Sinatra, The Rock Johnson, and Xi Jinping. Together they would join up into a megasuit and defeat Yoda, Obama, John Polk, Tralalelo Tralala, Joseph Stalin, Joe Biden, and Gumball Watterson. In the decisive Battle of Palestine, the battle was close until MLK used his British Broadcasting Corporation to summon Jesus Christ, who would turn the water into wine, causing Joe Biden to get drunk and have intercourse with Yoda. Yoda's force powers would kill Obama, forcing MLK to win the election in a landslide, securing his spot as the Emperor. We now remember this process as the Goon process. G. Touching the G-spot. O. Omniscient, because MLK is omniscient. O. One leader, because MLK is the only leader we need in our life. And N. The N-word. The survivors of the battle would not be so lucky, as MLK was a ruthless warrior. He would send survivors to Birmingham, causing them to kill themselves. End of his career. At the end of his career, MLK was a very significant figure in modern history, being the chillest guy and the biggest Alpha Sigma wolf. After he retired as emperor, he passed on his rule to Martin Gunagui IV. The most common story is that MLK would die peacefully in his sleep in his apartment in Nagasaki. However, this is a lie by the liberal media, the Democrats, the Deep State, Fox News, the Illuminati, the Jews, the royal family, cultural Marxists, and the transworld mob. Over the years, many credible sightings of MLK have been spotted in the Empire of Andromeda. MLK was seen making a trip around the universe using the power of the N-word. Many instances include MLK seen flying over the USSR naked and oiled up in 1984, MLK seen rapping against a black hole, MLK seen spreading civil rights to space Mexico, MLK seen gooning on planet India, and MLK eating chicken chow mein on Jupiter. These events were all captured way past his death, and it is entirely possible that MLK is actually still alive to this day. Now, this may be a fanfiction, however, I have done a lot of research called taking drugs, so a lot of this could actually be possible.